power of storytelling, especially focused during training programs. So, very important first question to all of you. What is story? What is story? Yes. Yes, Meghna, go ahead.
Madam, it's a collection of characters, like where if you want to deliver a message, you can put that, you can frame up a story so that it reaches the mind of the people.
Oh, yes. How wonderful. So you mean to say there are characters, there are events, and there is also a message, right?
Yes,
I'm making those notes. You can call me Aparna. Okay, Meghna? Yes, please call me Aparna. Great. Now we have imagination. Sheetal is saying imagination. Amazing. Creativity. Suhanya is saying creativity. Can be live examples too? Yes, Bhushan. Absolutely. Can be live examples also. And which stories touches to our heart? Live stories, yes.
Maybe from daily routine also.
Yes,
from
absolutely.
Experiences, past experiences.
Absolutely. Past experiences, daily routine, life stories, touches to heart, engaging audience, conveying some message across. Wonderful, right? However, if you look at it, our grandmother never thought about it, isn't it? Oh, let me tell my children something new today. Let me give some message today. Let me have some characters today. Do you all recall? Maybe our grandma parents or our parents telling you story? Are you telling story to your children?
Yes,
Your baby? Yeah. Did you ever think about creativity, about the characterization, about live examples? Or you just told a story? Think about it. Storytelling comes from Indian grandmoms. Am I right? When we were in childhood, we used to have books. Do you recall any books which you used to read? Yes? Any books?
Panchatantra.
Panchatantra. Absolutely. We all recall, yes, Tinkle, Panchatantra. Then there was Chanda Mama. I don't know, Magic Pot. You know, that book I subscribe for my son. I mean, you know, I will read some stories from there and then I will share that. Isn't it? So many books are there. Wonderful. Wow. Chacha Chaudhary, someone's favorite, Cinderella. Oh my God. Wow. And it is Chacha Chaudhary or Sab, right? Just see, we all come from stories. Hey, but what happens when we become adult? Where are those stories goes? Yes. What happens to all those stories?
Forgotten.
How?
Forgotten.
How?
We don't remember it.
We don't remember it sometimes. But do you remember the skill of telling stories, Meghna?
Ma'am, I actually watch videos like where people convey a message, like, moral value through a story.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I deliver the same thing to my daughter. I listen to it, I watch it, and then I try to deliver it at least to 25% of what the person conveyed to my daughter.
Wonderful, wonderful. And that's what I recall, you know, when my father used to ride a bicycle. He used to ride 3 kilometers extra to go to that Radhi shop where all old books used to be there. You remember second-hand books we used to buy? There was a time. Then he used to take out one book from all those packs of books. He used to have that cycle there and used to sit there, read 2, 3 books. Because if he buy that book, then he had to pay. And then he used to come back and he used to be very happy and used to tell, come, today there is a new story for you. Now, today's parent, we go on YouTube, try to get stories from there and share with our children, isn't it? But storytelling is there. Storytelling is there. Hey, am I making sense to everyone? Stories we loved in our childhood and we loved even in our adulthood. We love stories today also. Is there anyone who doesn't love stories? If someone is, we do it, right? Someone is lying, then we say, oh, ye bahut fekhta hai. So that's a different story I'm talking about. That story is not. But we all love stories, right? But what do you think that, why storytelling is so effective? Why people say storytelling is very effective? What makes storytelling so effective?
They might try to connect with the characters, real life incidents.
Real life incidents? Right, Meghna. So what do you think, especially training programs, what makes stories so effective? Especially during training program. Yes, Raj, do you want to say something? Jayanti, yes?
Can you hear me, ma'am? It makes us go back to our childhood, actually.
It makes us to go back to our child.
We feel like a child all over again, and
We can. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Yes, someone is speaking. So if you look at it, today, storytelling for someone, take them back to childhood. For someone, it becomes the moral lessons. For someone, these are lifetime messages. And you will be surprised, for someone, it can be a marketing story. Right? If you look at it, big brands also use stories because everyone loves stories. And especially if you look at it in training programs, stories plays a major role. However, everyone says for someone, it becomes very naturally. For someone, it becomes a skill, right? But if you look at it, let me show you very powerful slide. Is my screen visible to everyone? I'm sure it is visible. Stories help us to influence people. We can inspire people. Very important, during training sessions, we connect with learners very quickly. Okay, and there is a very important third point. Something for everyone, that is WAC. Can anyone tell me WAC? V-A-C-K, WAC, what is that?
It's, I think, visual, audio, and kinesthetic.
Absolutely. So, there is a psychology of a learner. For example, Meghna said, I go on YouTube, watch, come back. Someone said, I read, then I come back. Someone says, I listen to the audiobooks and come back. Every learner has got his or her preferential learning way. Some people love to see pictures, videos, slides. For example, till the time you don't show them slides, they feel uncomfortable. There is no content. There was no content, right? So they want to see something on the screen. So they are like 40% of your participants will be visual. 40% people will be auditory. Means what? They want to listen to you. They want to listen to the tone. For example, audiobooks are there available. Two types of audiobooks. One is you go on podcast and you get to just hear. But if you go on YouTube, there is an audiobook with a lot of music, a lot of, different tonality, and people use that. Okay. Like audio once said, there was a king who used to be happy. He had one queen and had 5 children. This is also audio. Once upon a time, there was a king. He had a beautiful queen. Right? People love that auditory. They love those auditory effects. And 20% are kinesthetic. They want to experience, they want to touch. And storytelling helps to engage your participants in all the ways. In all the ways. Someone was asking me, right, in the expectation, how to engage with audiences. How to engage with audiences. For example, there is a Pankaj. Pankaj says, oh, don't show me that slide, Aparna, you speak to me. It's auditory. Meghna says, oh, go back to that slide. What was the 4th point? I want to watch it. Then she will take pictures. They're visuals. Some people are saying, now are you going to give us a lecture or you're also going to make us practice? Hey, am I making sense? These are different kinds of audiences you will have, and you need to engage with audiences, and storytelling helps. Okay? Storytelling helps. Now, when we look at the stories also sticks, very important, stick in the mind. There are some stories are like life-changing stories, like stories in Bible, stories in Ramayana, stories everywhere. These are life-changing. It makes your philosophy. Am I right? Raj, Meghna, Nimit, am I making sense? These are life-changing stories sometimes. Sometimes these stories make our philosophy in the life. And there are various types of stories, okay? Let me show you the types. Because we are going to practice only one type today, okay? One is hero or heroine story, okay? One story is like that. Another story type is the mountain story. Now, these are techniques of telling stories. I'm not saying types of stories. The way you tell the stories. Hero story means there was a struggle. There was a problem. Typical Hindi movie. The hero comes from a poor family, comes to big city. Then there is a struggle. Then the person had no money. Then the person puts he does lot of hard work. And then the person try. And the end, hero becomes hero. Am I making sense? That is hero. Sometimes it's a mountain. Sometimes there is a roller coaster that is up and down, up and down, up and down it will go. Sometimes it is nested loops. What do you mean by that? One story will be in the center. Then what happened? Then what happened? Then what happened? Then what happened? Nested story. And the last is 5 senses story. 5 senses story, and we are going to practice it. Are you excited? Yes? Everybody,
Yes.
we know your reactions. Yes?
Yeah.
5 sense-based story. Okay? What is sense-based story? Sense-based stories are where we use all our senses. What are our senses? That is relating to event as they were seen, heard, smell, tested, and touched. Okay, everyone? Yes? So in your story, all these elements should be there. All these elements should be there. And do you know what is the psychology reason that why this kind of storytelling is considered as most effective? Because psychology says when our senses are involved, the more recall will be there. Okay? For example, you have tested a particular kind of a food, you will never forget. Yeah. The thing which you have seen something, you will never forget. Company like Amazon, which struggled for e-marketing or e-shopping because people wanted to touch the material. Hey, how's the material? Show me. And then you want to test the material, right? You love that touch, right? You have a smell. Like for example, when you go in the maybe temple, you have that smell, and then you say, ah, pure. someone has gone in the lift. Oh, pizza has gone. And your mouth start watering. Smell. I'm sure, like, for example, if you right now sit and think about pizza, you will be able to smell pizza. Everyone,
Yes,
are you able to smell it?
yes.
Someone must be able to see the cheese also. The visual. People are visual. They will be able to see the cheese. And someone will say, now don't say all this. This is the evening time. I'm feeling like having. So let me tell you one story to all of you. Just observe. Okay. So there was Sunil. Sunil was sitting in a restaurant. Sunil always felt uncomfortable with his own personality. He was wearing a checkered shirt and big glasses with black rim. Very well combed hair. And to his surprise, there was another girl sitting in the same cafe waiting for someone. Sunil used to like that girl. Her presence made him feel very uncomfortable. He was waiting for a long time for someone. After some time, she realized that the person is getting late, and she looked at Sunil and she got up. She went to Sunil's place, pulled that chair back. The noise of that chair made Sunil more conscious. Looking at the girl, he said, hello. She said, hi, may I join you? Because I'm sitting there uncomfortably waiting for someone, so we can have a chat. Sunil made feel that, okay, yes, why not? Please join. Sunil offered her a coffee. Would you like to have a coffee? She said, yes, why not? Sunil called waiter. Waiter said, what is it that you would like to have? He said, can you bring 2 cups cappuccino? Waiter got 2 cups of cappuccino. The smell of the coffee was outstanding. Sunil helped the waiter to get the coffee down. Waiter asked, would you like to have sugar? And Sunil said, yes, I would like to have salt. Now the girl sitting next to him was surprised. He said, hey, did you just say this salt? He said, yes. Surprisingly, waiter also went inside, got some salt for Sunil, and he poured little bit salt in his coffee. Sunil tasted that first sip and said, nice coffee. The girl asked him, how can you even drink this kind of a coffee? I'm first time seeing someone who is having coffee with the salt. He said, there is a reason. What is the reason? In the childhood where I used to stay, it was a seashore, and the water was very salty. So I'm used to have this. When I have a salt in my coffee, I recall my parents, I recall my childhood. I feel really nice. She gets impressed. Wow, that's so wonderful. And then they keep talking. After that, they kept meeting frequently, and Sunil kept having coffee with the salt. The girl kept drinking a coffee with a sugar. They fall in love. Now the time came that they wanted to get married. But Sunil was carrying very heavy guilt. He was feeling that guilt and he said, without telling something, I will not marry this girl. So he invites the girl once again to the same cafe and says, hey, I want to tell you something. She says, what? You know, I lied. But I want to clear this before this marriage. Otherwise, I won't be able to take this guilt on my shoulders. It's very tough. Heartbeat goes up. Now what? And Sunil says, you know, I never ever tasted a coffee with a salt. But then you told me, right? You said that you love it. Your house was near seashore and everything. Yes. Because when you were in front of me, I was extremely uncomfortable. I was very conscious. I was nervous. And instead of sugar, I said salt. And after that, I saw you getting impressed on me when I was having a coffee with salt. And I said, let it be. Because that broke the ice, that helped me to impress you. And hence, since that day, I'm having coffee with salt. Please forgive me. And after marriage, promise me that you will never, ever offer me a coffee with the salt. Yes, everyone. Okay. So I have few questions for all of you. First of all, tell me, did you like the story, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Sheetal, that story was so inspiring that Sheetal came on camera. Those who loved the story, come on camera. Let me see. Yes. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Just a minute. Huh?
Yeah, it was nice.
Rahul, I need your help. Okay. That's wonderful. So I have certain things to ask you, okay?
You need something?
Okay. I have certain things to ask you. How many of you, okay, what was the color of Sunil's shirt? Please put it in the chat box. What was the color of Sunil's shirt? Yes. Okay, it was checks, right? Color, white, purple, red. Okay, wonderful, wonderful, great. Okay, did you able to see the girl as well? Did you able to see the girl as well? How was her hair? Tell me about hair. Did you able to see her dress? What color dress she was wearing? Oh, shoulder length and black. Wonderful. Okay, shoulder length and black. Okay. Oh, she was wearing a yellow kurta. Oh, wow. That's so wonderful, Sheetal. What a great observation. How many of you could able to smell the coffee? Rahul, I need your help. Yes. How many of you could? I'm very visual. Yes, yes, absolutely. Wonderful. Okay, how many of you could smell the coffee? Please tell me. Yes, you could. Wonderful. How many of you could taste the salty coffee? Log in from this. How many of you could? Ah, wonderful. Wonderful. Yes. Great. Ah, I can imagine. It can actually taste it. Okay, I could. So most of you could do this, isn't it? And this is called, how you use senses while delivering the story. Okay. Of course, there are different kind of stories are there. There are business stories where you need a data. That is where customer sharing the experience. That is where you need data, right? Okay. Well, not coffee, but I had tea with salt, so I could relate it. What's in it for me? See, are you able to connect with that story? Now I want to ask you one thing. How many of you could see yourself in Sunil? Raj, you could see. Raj was smiling throughout the story. He was smiling throughout the story. Yes? Did you able to connect with Sunil? This is especially for men and boys in the team. I could connect. Sheetal said, yes, I could connect. Absolutely.
Yes.
And this is the power of story. Okay. Now, when did I use it? When did I use it? I used it. So now, when did I tell this story? I was conducting one of the session on trust building. Okay. And one person said, Madam, do we really need to be honest all the time? Our white lies are okay in life, right? Because sometimes we lie, but there is no harm. Are you getting my point? We are not harming someone intentionally. Okay. So can we do that? Yes. And when this incident came, I said this story. Are you with me, everyone? So now, sometimes you can plan stories in your training session, and sometimes you need to, that can be impromptu. So you need to keep on reading stories. Is that fine with you? There are some stories you can keep plan. Some stories can be whenever you want, but keep few stories ready. So now this was fiction where Sunil character was used, everything. There are few stories you can give it from your side also. Okay. Now let's practice this technique. Are you ready? Yes? Great. Now, how are you going to practice this thing? Right? I'm sharing one slide with you. If you want, you can take a photograph of this slide, okay? Or a screenshot of the slide and keep it with yourself. This slide will be on also with you. Just have a look at it. Right? So now the scene is, remember your first cup of tea this morning. Okay. What are you going to do? Think. You can use your pen and paper also for this. Okay. Think. Where were you? What time was it? Who were you with? What was the temperature? Okay. So now just keep these questions ready with you. Recording in progress. I hope you are working on it. Yes? Once you're done, show me a thumbs up. Show me a thumbs up so that I get to know. Done? Sheetal, are you done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, great. Let's go to the next column. The column is list 3 items that are had around you. For example, it can be just a water bottle. It can be AC remote. You know, it can be pen. Just imagine what 3 things were there around you. List 3 things which making noise around you. That noise can be a doorbell, and a noise can be a telephone ring. Think about it. If you get 1 or 2, then also it's fine. Not necessary you have to have 3. I'm just pushing your creativity. Think, how was the color of the tea? Dark red, black tea, milky tea. You know, think about the color. Then think, how was the taste of the tea? Was it strong, light, tasteless, less sugar? And the column which we have given now in the last, I remember testing, I remember seeing, will help you to form a story, right? So the first column always help you to tell audience GPS, okay? What do you mean by GPS? That is verb, you were where, setting, like for example, he was in a cafe. I'm sure you might have able to see the furniture. But when I said cappuccino, then the modern furniture must have come in front of your eyes. There is a possibility, right? So it is very important if you can tell the audiences the set, you know, where you were sitting.
The setting.
They visualize it. That helps. And the other next column will help you to have 5 senses in your story. Okay. Now what do we do? I give you 5 minutes to make your story. Is that fine, everyone? You have taken the screenshot of it? Yes? Everyone? So I'm giving you 5 minutes time now. Okay? Let's have, we are all here. Huh? We all are here. I'm giving you 5 minutes time. I'm having an alarm on my mobile, right? And then we will come back and hear story. Is that fine with everyone? All the best. All the best. Don't go. Come back. It is important to practice. Yes. You can write your script. You know, can write your script.
Ma'am,
Yes, Meghna?
ma'am, shall I say something?
Wait. Because others are also, their brain is working now. We will disturb them. Just wait. Try to enhance it. Try something extra. People love extra. If you want to talk about curtains, colors, add something to that story.
Okay.
I think Bhushan is also done.
Still doing.
Good. Great. So 5 minutes are over. Can we have someone coming and sharing the story? How was your morning tea today? Everyone. Yes, Meghna, would you like to share your story?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. Please go ahead.
It was a sunny morning. The time is 7:15. I was all alone sitting on the sofa. I remember tasting a cup of coffee, seeing newspaper, touching the flowers on the flower vase,
Right.
simultaneously hearing birds chirping,
Very good.
and enjoying and smelling the nice aroma of coffee.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Coffee and flowers in the way. Simultaneously, I'm smelling the taste, smelling the coffee aroma and the flowers. And the coffee tasted perfect. It's perfect in its taste, color, everything. And I enjoyed my cup of coffee, and that gave me a good boost up for the day to start my day.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Give her a big round of applause, Meghna ko. Please, everyone. Everyone needs to give a big round of applause to her, please. Wonderful. See, now you will see, now the script is there, right? However, while sharing, it will take little practice for you, okay? And always share the way you will be sharing with your child. As if, we meet friends and they say, suppose if I'm a good friend of Sheetal, and what I will say, Sheetal, you remember? You remember when we used to meet on that cafe? And that coffee used to be so bad. But still, I still recall the laughter on your face. The way we tell the story to our friends, in the similar way we should tell. Okay? But right now, this is a technique which we know now. Slowly, gradually, we will do it. Again, we do not need to use all the 5 senses in one story. You can use maximum. Is that fine with you? Right? So we don't have to use all, but few. Even though you use few, that will be really great. Even many people who write novels use this sense-based storytelling in a very great way. Especially if you look Chetan Bhagat stories, if you look at it, if you read, you will get to see he used all these things very, very effectively. Okay? That's great, Meghna. How are you feeling?
Don't know, ma'am, but I felt happy.
So when you will tell your story to your children also, you can utilize this. Use this kind of a technique. Or there was a huge dark green jungle. You should be able to visualize, because that is where the imagination power also grows. Okay? And that is where this visualization is very, very important. Okay? Like that. Yes, Bhushan. Sheetal, anyone would like to go ahead and share your story?
May I?
Yes, Sheetal, go ahead.
It was 7 o'clock in the morning. I went to the kitchen to make my morning cup of tea. My husband was still sleeping. Mornings have been pretty hot these days, and I remember feeling suffocated. So I opened the windows, and the cacophony of Mumbai traffic welcomed me. Rather, I welcomed the cacophony. The words were all singing. And I remember feeling a very calm sense of balance between a rural and an urban setting. The tea which I was making, the regular black tea with lemon. And my tea was ready. I got some biscuits out and sat on the window ledge to enjoy this tea, which really tasted like freedom.
Whoa, we have a great story here.
Thank
We have
you.
a great story.
Thank you.
Wonderful,
Thank you.
wonderful, wonderful, Sheetal. Awesome.
Thank
You
you.
made my day. Look at
Thank
the
you so
children.
much.
Yes.
Thank you.
See, there are some myths also that, when you need to be a storyteller, then you need to be a theater actor, or you need to be a great writer. No, it can be as simple as, now, for example, if I have to tell a story that, how my boss shared a feedback with me, right? I received a call. I was sitting in the office. I received a call. Oof, and I saw his name. Can you guess? It's my boss. And then he said, his heavy voice, Aparna, can I see you at 12 o'clock? He called me. I went inside. Perfume in his cabin was extremely strong. I always tell him to change it. Anyways, but now I was more focused on the feedback he was giving. And he said, Aparna, how do you think? How you have done last year? Now what should I do? Should I say great? Because inside from within, I was feeling I did a great job, boss. There was a lockdown, there was everything, but still I pulled off. But then I should not feel overconfident and say, okay, fine. But to my surprise, he said, you did a fantabulous job, and kept envelope in my hand. That was promotion.
Wow.
It was a feedback. Just a feedback. But you made it in a story format. Many business people, when I deliver these sessions with corporate executives, senior leaders, they always say, Madam, business presentation, how will I use story? I really don't know how many of you know Hindi here, but we always say this song. आने वाला पल जाने वाला है, हो सके तो इसमें जिंदगी बिता दो,
जिंदगी बीता दो।
पल ये जो जाने वाला है ना? And there is a beautiful rhyme that in every second there is nothing but the story. In every second there is a story. And how do you say that? How do you share your story with others? Makes a huge difference. Right? Anyone, one more story I would like to hear, at least one today. Yes? Anyone would like to share? Sheetal, you are not here, otherwise you would have got a chocolate from me.
Thank you, ma'am. You're saying this is so good, right? It's 10 chocolates to me.
Yes. Yes, anyone? One more participant, please. Bhushan, I think you should give a try. You should.
Yes, teacher.
Today morning, I was really preparing to go for an outdoor meeting. It was early morning, around 6:30 a.m. And I told my wife to be ready because today I have to go out and I should not be late. She was preparing the tea and it was hot, sunny morning here in Chandigarh. At 6:30 also there's sun here. And it was hot around 30 degrees centigrade. And the tea was ready. She brought the tea. At the moment I touched the cup, it was hot. Nowadays
Wow.
it doesn't get cold also here because the extreme climate in the winter days, we used to immediately take and drink it because it used to get cold very soon. But it was nice. Today she made the tea a little sweeter than the normal what we have. And it was little brown also. I think the milk was little less and the sugar was little more. Anyhow, I had to go. So I didn't say anything. I can't say also no to my wife. She is preparing for me. So I had the tea. I could hear the birds also creeping outside. The TV was on. I get used to watching always TV at the time of whenever I had breakfast or lunch or dinner, whatever it may be. The TV was going on. The news were there. All old news only, morning news. All the last evening news only they show in the early morning. So I was having that, and all these things were there. The tea was also very hot, so it was nice. Ultimately, I had the tea and I could do all my work in time and leave for office at the regular time. My driver also come, and I was really thankful to my wife that she prepared it and gave me the hot tea. And in the very morning, I could go in time. So that was the story of that
Yes.
morning.
Wow. I hope your
Very
wife
nice.
is listening to you. Wife is listening to you. Wonderful.
Lovely.
Wonderful.
Very nice.
Wonderful, Bhushan. And you can see how the difference is coming, isn't it? Practice it often. If you practice it often, it will be, you have to just say that, of course, not every time, but whenever you are briefing on a particular incident, whenever you're telling how was your day to your son or your child, whenever you are expressing something, try to use it. Keep a story always short, crisp. Not necessary that it has to be humorous. Don't, compel yourself that should be humor. Not necessary. There is nothing like there has to be tragedy and someone should cry. No, not necessary. Okay. So sometimes we feel that our story should be all this way, but we can have our stories very simple, short, crisp, in any language. Very important is any language. Language of audience is important than my language, because
Correct.
audience is always a hero. Focus on audience. What kind of audiences you are having, follow them. Yes. So this is one of the technique which we have learned today, that is called sense-based story. There are many different story formats and techniques. I hope you will go back, Google little bit and try to learn certain new techniques. Okay.